Nikola Jokic is that guy. He's a top 3 player in the whole entire league, and people need to start putting respect on him, and they're going to, because when the Denver Nuggets make it to the NBA Finals, which I am predicting the Denver Nuggets will be in the NBA Finals, people are going to start respecting Nikola Jokic more. The amount of disrespect that I've seen with Nikola Jokic in the NBA discourse is insane to me, bro. It's changing. It's going to change. It will change. Come NBA Finals time, when the Denver Nuggets are sitting there, I'll be here saying I told you so.
Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. The NBA Finals is set. The Denver Nuggets are going to be going up against the Miami Heat. We just figured this out a couple days ago after the Miami Heat absolutely destroyed my Boston Celtics. Still a little bit upset about that, but we'll get over it. You guys will get the video of me talking about the Boston Celtics sometime this weekend, but we got to talk about these NBA Finals, man, because my timeline is split in half. One side is the casuals, and then the other side are the diehard NBA fans. Some people want to see this, some people don't want to see this, and I don't understand. I always fall somewhere in the middle because I understand both sides. So for the casuals point, I think it makes sense because when you look at this NBA Finals on paper, you see the Denver Nuggets. This is their first time in the NBA Finals. Nobody really knows who Nikola Jokic is if you're a casual, because you don't pay attention to the Denver Nuggets, because who does? And then you see an 8th seed in Miami Heat, and then you're like, damn, they're the 1 seed, they're the 8th seed. We're just getting a first round matchup. We don't want to watch this. Why the fuck would we watch this? We wanted Celtics versus Lakers. We want our narratives. We want our storylines. And for the fans who care about the game and who love the game, they're gonna watch the NBA Finals regardless of who's playing in it. And here comes me. I fall in the middle because I'm not gonna lie, I like a good narrative, you know what I'm saying? I want to see an NBA Finals where everyone can enjoy, you know what I'm saying? You can't just leave out the casual viewer because they're a casual viewer. I mean, they kind of make up the majority if you really think about it. But on the other side, I like watching basketball. I like the game. I love the purity of the sport. So I'm here to tell you guys why every single person should be tuning in, casual or not, to this NBA Finals. I don't even have a list planned because this isn't even what the bulk of this video is, but Nikola Jokic is one of the greatest players that we have seen in this whole entire league. A true unicorn, man. Everyone knows how good Nikola Jokic is at this point, but I don't think people really understand how good Nikola Jokic is. If you guys did not know, I had this team going to the NBA Finals because I saw what I saw in that first round against Golden State on the offensive side of the basketball. Now, the defensive side, he was getting cooked. But on the offensive side, he was special. He was something that we haven't seen at the center position ever. A lot of people wrote off Nikola Jokic as a basketball player that couldn't win at the highest level, that couldn't be a #1 option on a championship team because of the defensive deficiencies that he has. They even wrote off his whole entire team as a whole, and they did not value the production that Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray gave them because they were both out with injury. Out of sight, out of mind. Now that Nikola Jokic has his 2 best teammates back, it's not a shocker to me that they're in the NBA Finals. It shouldn't be a shocker to anybody because they were the 1st seed this season. There was no way that anybody in that Western Conference was going to be able to beat them. They were consistent as hell and they got themselves there. However, the Miami Heat have such a rough path to get to the NBA Finals. They had to go through the 1st seed Milwaukee Bucks. We got one of the best Jimmy Butler performances that we have ever seen in Game 4. It was an amazing experience. Then we get to the 2nd round. A lot of people I've seen pick the New York Knicks. I actually picked the New York Knicks, and I don't know why I picked the New York Knicks because at the end of the day, they have Julius fucking Randle. Then he went up against my Boston Celtics, and you guys just watched the whole entire series. They had to scratch and claw. They almost blew a 3-0 lead, something that hasn't happened at all in NBA history, and now they're in the NBA Finals, an 8th seed, a team that had to win 2 play-in games to get here, a team that was on the brink of elimination against the Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals. I know these casuals are salivating at the mouth hearing this narrative that's coming out of my mouth. However, the diehards, they're gonna like this series too, and I understand why. And I think it's pretty obvious why the hoopheads are gonna like this series, because you got a very well-disciplined offensive-minded team in the Denver Nuggets, and you got a very well-disciplined defensive team in the Miami Heat. Two amazing coaches in Mike Malone and Eric Spoelstra. And I really do think that this is going to be a grinded out competitive series from both teams. I really do. I see a lot of people saying that this is going to go 4 or 5. I just do not agree with that, man. You got the Miami Heat. They continue to shoot at a high clip. They're not slowing down. I thought that they were going to slow down. I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're not going to shoot 60%. I say that all the time. And they never slow down. They never do. So I'm not expecting them to slow down now that they're in the NBA Finals. I do not think that that's going to happen. However, at the end of the day, the Miami Heat walk into another series with their backs against the wall. And I do have some concerns for them. Number one, I just do not think that this team is fully equipped to guard Nikola Jokic on all angles. I do not think that they'll be able to do that. Nikola Jokic is unguardable. You're just going to have to deal with it. They don't have the size to compete. They don't really have the rebounding. At times throughout this whole entire postseason, I've seen Bam Adebayo become lazy on the rebounds. I've seen some times where Bam Adebayo becomes lackadaisical and he just allows a bunch of offensive boards. I'm pretty sure everybody else has seen that as well. And I feel like you can't have those type of mental lapses against Nikola Jokic because he's going to beat you every single time. While I really do think that this is going to be his biggest series of his whole entire career. Number one, a championship is on the line. Number two, you've never gone up against somebody like Nikola Jokic on the offensive side. So this is your biggest defensive matchup yet. And number three, you better be ready for them one-on-ones, bro, because if Spo's plan is to just let Jokic eat and everybody else follow back, make sure they don't get no threes, make sure nobody else gets their shit off, you better be ready to be working in that post, man. You better be ready because them pivots are coming. That footwork is coming. You gotta be ready. Oh my God, man. Things that Jokic is about to do to Bam Adebayo are about to be disgusting. People are not ready for it, man. People are not ready for it. I really do feel like Bam is the X factor for this series because on both sides of the basketball, you have to be elite at all times. On the offensive side, they're gonna need you to attack Jokic. They're going to need that. But here's the thing with Bam. His weakness is staying consistent and staying aggressive. You gotta stay aggressive. If you're not staying aggressive on Mitchell Robinson, you're not gonna stay aggressive on Nikola Jokic. However, you know Bam is gonna be very active on the defensive side. Speaking of the defensive side, the Miami Heat, they really do have a bunch of strengths, and I think the number one strength that they do have is their defense. You saw that zone that they were playing on Boston that inevitably got them kicked out of the playoffs. They're not going to be really able to go to that zone as much as they would like to because Nikola Jokic is going to kill that shit. I don't think that their defense is going to be as strong as it was against this offense like the Denver Nuggets have. And I really do think that their offense is going to be a really big factor because when you think about it, you got Strus, you got Gabe Vincent, you got Haywood Highsmith, you got Caleb Martin going out there just chucking threes and making them, and they're not missing at all. They're not missing, and I don't think that they're gonna stop. I said this earlier in the video. I don't think throughout this whole entire postseason the Denver Nuggets have seen as many scoring threats as the Miami Heat have. They have Gabe Vincent, they have Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, they have Jimmy Butler who can score, they have Bam Adebayo who can score when he's aggressive, they have Kyle Lowry off the bench. They have so many guys who can score the basketball. Does that shake the Denver Nuggets defense? Does it do that? I really do think that the Denver Nuggets defense is going to be getting a little bit exposed in this series. I've been waiting for it to happen. It hasn't really happened. Their defense has actually strengthened throughout the whole entire postseason, but that was something that I was concerned with walking into the first round for the Denver Nuggets. So the Miami Heat's offense might actually just expose that. Who knows? And I do think that Jamal Murray might struggle a little bit in this series. He might have a couple games where he's not shooting as well as he normally does because Caleb Martin is going to be on that perimeter. Max Strus is going to be on that perimeter. You're going to have to deal with Gabe Vincent. At times, you're going to have to deal with Jimmy Butler. It's just what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I think that might, choke him up a little bit. And another thing that I think everyone is talking about, them 9 Jokic minutes got to be good, bro. I don't really have to go in depth with that because they have been atrocious. They've been atrocious when it comes to Nikola Jokic being off the floor. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. Now it's time to give my prediction, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I do think that this is going to be a competitive series. I think the Miami Heat are going to be really, really good, and they're going to put up a good fight. But at the end of the day, Jokic's rebounding is going to be too much for Bam Adebayo. Jokic is going to be too much in general for the Miami Heat. I really do think that this man, Mike Malone, is going to be able to counter any defensive set or defensive adjustment that Eric Spoelstra throws at the Denver Nuggets. I just think that it's going to be the end of the road for the Cinderella story, and I think that Nikola Jokic brings home his first championship and his first Finals MVP. I do think that the Nuggets are going to win in 6 games. This is the 4th time that I've betted against the Miami Heat, man. The 4th time. The first time, it was okay. The second time, maybe they're good. The third time, the shit hurt me. The 4th time, it's on me. If they win, I'm gonna have to come out here and I'm gonna have to get on my knees, man. I'm gonna be honest. That's all I got for you today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'm out. Peace.